Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host GamerK, and it's time for another GamerK's Game Reviews. And this one, oh boy, this one's going way back. I mean, okay, to be fair, I didn't get this game until I was like in high school and everything, and finding it was not fun. So a majority of you who've watched my videos over the last 4 years since I've been doing this knew that a couple years ago I did all 6 CSI Las Vegas video games in one review. And seeing how I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm going to probably be doing something similar like that later on in some way. But anyways, then last year I did the CSI New York video game, which was one of the worst ones that I played because they changed the format and it was very irritating. Very, very irritating. And then in 2004, a year after the spin-off CSI Miami came into play, yep, they had to do that one too. And I will say, I found this at a Walmart while on vacation. I know what you're thinking. Why go to a Walmart if you're on vacation? Well, because we stay in hotels and we kind of get snacks and everything. So, yeah. But I found this luckily in the bargain bin. And as you can see from the case design, that this is a really old game. So old, in fact, is that for the 5 cases in this game, you need 3 discs. You need 3 discs. Yeah. I am so old that I remember all these old computer cases where they had to have 3 CDs. And I will say, it is a great game. But how does it level up with the other CSI games? Well, let's dive in and find out. First of all, this game was created by Ubisoft, but unlike CSI Crime Scene Investigation, which was the first one, yeah, go ahead, throw it up there. And then the second game, Dark Motives, those two had this kind of the same feeling of this one because they were done by the same studio, 369 Interactive, until 3 Dimensions of Murder came out and Telltale took up the reins of creating the games, with Ubisoft, of course. This game has a theme where in the crime scenes, there's a panoramic view for the crime scenes, which, you guys know what panoramic view is. It's where you take the section and spin around 360, whereas a lot of the other crime scenes in the game have a point-and-click kind of view to it, which all the CSI games have, but as much as I do enjoy the old school of the games, I did enjoy not having to of actually looking for the evidence and not just having it point click. Although you can't, because of this game, you can turn off all those detection tools off and feel like a real CSI. Although if you've played the game for so long, you kind of know where everything is and what to do. But I will say, these games, the cases in this game are spectacular, and honestly, they're really intriguing. Something that would definitely feel like an episode of the show, which is really, really good. Man, So in this game, we work with Horatio Kane, we work with Eric Delco, Callie Duquesne. And because this is around Season 1, Season 2, we do get Tim Speedle, who, for CSI Miami fans, know the tragic fate. And we also work, because we have lacking of number of partners, we also work with Yelena Salas, who's also our cop friend. And then we also have Alex Woods, our coroner, and Valera, who's our lab tech. Not as humorous as Greg in the first 2 CSI games, but No one really is as funny as Greg Sanders. And the cases are really exceptional. First, we have Later Gator, where a dead alligator is found dead in the Palm Glen Country Club. And along with it, a severed arm of a victim. In this case, weaves a tale of betrayal and infidelity. And our suspects are pretty good. We got a retired judge who helps us a little bit throughout the case. A member of the Palm Glen Club who is also friend to either the victim or the victim's or the son who might be a victim. It's kind of toss and turn at the beginning. We have the dude's wife who may have been in an illicit affair with more than one person during this scenario. The golf pro's daughter who doesn't have that much, and the missing husband or stepson. The victim's wife or stepmother basically is also a suspect. I will admit this case was very annoying not with how many suspects we have, but more so with the twist it took, which, like, among all the cases in this is the one that I've had the least amount of likability with it. It just kind of doesn't feel like there's a big revelation or anything. But the case itself does have a lot of fun moments. We have Cracker Jack, where a nightclub owner is found dead in his own dance floor. But was this a fatal accident? Or could it have been a murder disguised like an accident? And this one, embezzlement and drugs feed the nightclub life. And the suspects include the bouncer of the nightclub, waitress at a partnering bar, and the victim's business partner, who is a brewmeister. But did he brew up something other than alcohol? This one was really, really good. I did enjoy it, and I'll get more on this one to the final case. The Hate Boat. A mysterious boat is found in the marina with a dead female passenger on board, in a boat that is rigged for some definite fun. The victims and with the victim's shady past is brought to light. Did it include a whole new set of motives for our suspects? A Latin pop star, her husband who has intimacy problems, and a psychiatrist who prescribed the victim to said husband. Was it all fun and games gone awry, or is there a dark, seated motive to be held within these suspects? You'll only have to find out. Sunstroke. A retired real estate tycoon is found dead in his private beach. It could have been natural causes, but with the dead man's pooch also suffering death, the investigation is at foot. We find the suspects. Famous lawyer who's not really a suspect so much, who interferes in a majority of cases. The victim's butler / illegitimate son. The victim's daughter-in-law, who's also a servant. And the cook, who may have more to be said than needs die. God, I have no idea how to word these. Okay, this one is literally my least favorite case among all of them. I mean, they had a good thing going with it, but what I thought they were going to go for, yeah, it stinks. And the final case, final judgment. The judge from the first case is found shot dead in his own study. And the killers of all the previous cases accumulate here to want to claim the glory. and some other suspects, including a ghostwriter who's been helping the victim with a tell-all memoir that will shed some light on the darkness of Miami. And the famous lawyer again makes a return appearance. And do all these previous killers have something in common? Or is there a more malevolent mind at work throughout the game? Now, this one I did really enjoy. However, I know I spent a couple minutes talking about each case and everything. And like all CSI games, either one or a couple cases kind of accumulate at the final case in one way or another, except for deadly intent. Technically deadly intent, yeah. But overall, I do enjoy these cases. They are in true 369 games fashion with the first two CSI games. This one takes about 6 hours to do because it's not like there's that many challenging puzzles like in the latest games, or the evidence isn't hidden as well, but it is done very, very well. It's enjoyable. The lab stuff is pretty basic. You drag all your evidence to Valera. She puts it into the computer, sends it there, does a little analysis. Some of the lab stuff you don't do in every single case, which is a big waste. But overall, the game is still really good. But the problem is, there's not that much extra dialogue that you can do, like in the latest games, not the latest, but the after games after this one that came out. They did so much better. Like, you could go to these suspects and talk about this and talk about all the evidence, even if it doesn't lead everywhere. It works. But here, there are times when you want to talk to certain suspects, but you can't because there's nothing of value, and it stinks. And the twists are kind of, in case 1, case 3, and case 5, the twists are great. In case 2, we really don't get a satisfying conclusion because of the lawyer and everything, and something's never explained. And the final case, we get a little bit of that explanation, but we never get to do anything with it. And then case 4, everything just is, it's pretty much a flop. It's like you're analyzing everything because there's not that many suspects to talk to. Like in case 1, I was really expecting, okay, so the big twist of it all is that the guy who found the arm, his wife was sleeping with the victim and the victim's son. And the victim's son was seeing her daughter and everything, which makes it a little bit creepier. And I was, okay, so throughout all these cases, there was one grand mastermind who kind of manipulated a whole bunch of the killers into committing murder, which I don't mind. I enjoy a twist like that. But at the same time, I kind of wanted it to be the daughter of the other family to be the murderer. Like, she got fed up with everyone and somewhat blamed the father of it all, the father in this, and it would have made really a cool twist, but I guess I didn't go for it. In case 4, because there's a whole thing of planting evidence and pointing fingers on the legitimate son and the daughter-in-law, I highly expected, because the victim in said case updated his will a lot and was going to leave all of his fortune to his dog, but so I was thinking like the chef could have learned a little something and got sick and tired of being left out of the will and all these menial tasks, and he put it on a great face. But what if he was the one who was manipulating everyone else? It would have been a good twist. I at least think that would have been good, because overall, in the final case, because in case 2, we don't find the murder weapon, we just find the thing that was used to drop a disco ball on the victim's head. we do end up finding the murder weapon and connecting it. But you think with information like that, you'd be able to go to the killer of case 2 and say that we found the murder weapon and everything, and a whole big thing's revealed. But no, after that, it's just collect it, simple, done. And then we watch a video for the end of the case, which I really, really enjoyed. The overall build-up of case 5. Of having all the previous killers from the other cases be there, have a couple other new suspects, and just this whole big revelation is just really, really good. It really is. Overall, I did enjoy the ending of the game, though. It was great. And for a CSI game, the ending is usually the accumulation of a majority of all the other cases. But you know what? I will say, I kind of miss CSI games. I really do. I mean, I played them all. I've beaten them all. Even the DS ones. Should I review the DS ones? It's an idea for another time. But overall, CSI Miami, the video game, it does what it was supposed to do. Create a fun puzzle and crime game for CSI fans. It may not be the best one, but it is definitely in my favorites. At least it didn't screw up like the CSI New York one did. So that one I can be thankful for. So my final verdict for the CSI Miami game, it's good. It's got some kind of issues. I really wish there was a lot more story to develop in each case instead of just, I don't know how to say this. Like, I wish the collecting of the evidence wasn't so irritating. Because in CSI Dark Motives, you could completely skip talking to some people, and it would not matter. This, you go through the motions, and it feels like there's nothing that you can just figure out for yourself that leads to another interview or something. But overall, it's basic, it's simple. If you're a CSI fan, I would highly recommend looking for it. It's a basic 6 out of 10. It's not so grand as the actual CSI games. Like a spinoff, it does what it's supposed to do, and I would have loved to see a sequel of this game, but it didn't happen because they were focusing more on the main series. Yeah. So, that's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. This week. Hope you enjoyed this CSI review. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and join me next week where we end the month of June. And since it's summertime, we're going to be going over some floral enemies. This is GamerK, logging out.